everyone, and welcome back. Today I have a book review for you. The first half is going to be just a little bit of an explanation about what the book is about, and the second half will be with spoilers. So if you like the first half and feel like you want to check the book out, you can come back and watch the spoilery section and chat about it with me then. So my book of choice today is The Book of Speculation by Erika Swyler. And I talked about this in my June TBR, and I did read it. I've been really diligent on my TBR this month, so I've been able to finish quite a few books. And I was most excited about this one because it is an adult book, and a lot of my TBR was sort of like YA, like fantasy, paranormal, so this was a nice change. So the premise, for those of you who forgot, it's about a man named Simon who is a librarian, and he lives just off the Long Island Sound. He's lived there his whole life. His mother passed away when he was quite young. She drowned in the Long Island Sound, and they'd always assumed that it was a suicide, but he wasn't sure why she killed herself. And then one day in the mail, he gets this book from a man who says that he's found some of Simon's family history in it about the women in his family who were all performed in carnivals, and they were mermaids who could hold their breath for a performance. And it's sort of just about him figuring out why the women in his family died on a certain day, and they were all these circus performers who were mermaids. So it's about that history and following him throughout. Something interesting that I hadn't anticipated when I read the synopsis was that it would be split into dual points of view. The first point of view is from Simon, and the second is from Amos, who is a carnival performer who kind of starts off this curse. And I actually found his sections to be more interesting than Simon's, just because I really like the old carnival aspect of it and all of the stories of things that went on. I thought this was a really beautiful book. It reminded me a lot of Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, if you read it, and she actually does a blurb on the front cover of the book, which kind of made me excited. And I've heard it also be compared to The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, which I have not read yet. I know I need to, but I think it just has this whimsical and magical quality to it that makes for a good read for someone who wants to go more into the adult realm rather than young adult. Now I'm going to go into the spoilery section. If you have not read this book, I highly, highly recommend it. It's very beautiful, and it's one that makes you think. So if you haven't read it, goodbye, come back when you have so you can discuss it with me, and I really hope that a lot of people get their hands on this because it's so great. Okay, spoilers. So like I said, I was a huge fan of Amos's point of view. Evangeline was kind of crazy but awesome throughout. I like to learn about the history of Madame Riskova, I think I'm saying it right, and her past with the people who were like Evangeline, the nymphs, the water nymphs, and how she was trying to protect Amos. And Amos had just such an interesting story about him being mute, and then him learning how to converse with Evangeline through the cards. That was so beautiful, and it was unique, and it was nothing I'd ever read before. What I liked about Simon's pages were that he was flawed, and his relationship with Enola was flawed, and I liked Doyle a lot as well. I liked how Doyle and Enola interacted with each other. I also really enjoyed how tangled up Alice's family and Simon's family ended up being. I kind of had suspicions from the beginning when Frank was so concerned about the house. I was like, there's got to be something more that we're not knowing. And I liked how it came out that they were Peabodys at the end. I thought that was a really good twist as well, that they all were just down through history, they were drawn to each other, these families. And I really am a firm believer in fate and stuff like that, and so I love kind of books like these that you're destined to just be around certain people just because of how history has played out. No matter how many tragedies these families went through over the years, they still were kind of pulled to each other. I definitely will read the second book that she comes out with. I don't feel like this story is done. I feel like there's nothing more to continue on with this story, but I'm excited to read more of Erika Swyler's writing. And I gave it 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, which for me, I'm generous, but for me it's hard to be yes, this is for sure 5 stars, and I would recommend it to everyone. Alright guys, well thank you for watching. And again, if you've read the book and want to talk about it at all, please comment down below, or you can check it out at your local bookstores or Amazon. I think I got mine off of Amazon. So thanks for stopping by my little book nook of the internet, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.